T-Rex is still with his cousin. You think we can do this together, Steve? Long time no see. I missed you. Come on, let's go. Let's go out the door for some weather and more. It's been too long, hasn't it, Steve? Let's do this. T-Rex is still at his cousin's, so won't be joining us on our first out the door weather and more back home in more than a week. 35 at 2:25 p.m., which is something like 11:25 a.m., where I was 18 hours ago. To say my circadian rhythm is messed up is an understatement. I was almost going to take my first day off from going out the door in more than a year, but there's just so much weather. It's hard to ignore. It's impossible. Ice bucket, I'm sure, completely melted while I'm gone. It's about 2 inches. Oops. It's about 2 inches higher than it was when I left, or 1.5 inches. So I missed a lot of weather in New England, and then the sun came out. Ryan and Tyler yesterday doing a hike for me. In the spirit of TK, they said they went up to the Sugar Bush snow stake, a few inches of snow on there from the snowiest January in a decade. Then the sun came out today. Thank you, Ryan and Tyler, for sharing and thinking of me. And this morning, coming in over Boston, right over there, I waved to you, Joe and Finn, as we were going over Nantasket Beach. Those are some pretty big waves out there. What's going on over the ocean? Well, a storm that missed New England to the south several days ago has stalled. We talked about this, doing that loop south of Nova Scotia, where Halifax, gusting to 76 kilometers per hour, is 45 miles per hour. That ocean storm is not done with us. Let's just start in our corner, and then we'll go off to California and Florida. So this storm's doing a loop out there, and the buoy at Boston, 9 foot 9 seconds. Anyhow, the black lines are isobars. Wind is air, moving from high pressure in eastern Canada to low pressure south of Nova Scotia, and the blue is snow coming across. Little bits of snow coming into Maine and eastern Massachusetts tomorrow, and tomorrow night into Tuesday. So much for that sunny week in Boston. It's no big storm or anything, but it's just very interesting. This is a volatile time of year. But for most of New England, it's just cold and very dry. I mean, the dew point's going down to near 0 tomorrow in a lot of New England, so it's going to be tough to get those snowflakes to reach the ground. But even the National Weather Center, National Weather Service, actually, technically, it's called Weather Prediction Center. It shows that the black lines and the orange lines there, the black lines are isobars, the dashed orange lines that are perpendicular to them, those are the surface troughs rotating around that ocean storm, which is just spinning around out there. And then that kind of eases out to sea, but the next one coming through Florida is going to be chasing it, and that's going to keep that northeast gradient going here with a long fetch. This is a huge week for surf up and down the east coast. Cold surf here in New England. Maybe we'll go over to the ocean. Probably go skiing instead. Oh, that's interesting. There's the plane coming in. That's the exact route we took coming in this morning. What a pretty visual it was coming in as the sun was coming up. We got on the plane and sat on the tarmac in Phoenix yesterday for more than an hour waiting for clearance to take off. So many people coming in to Las Vegas. The planes were landing one after another. No one took off. We were just looking out the window. Everyone was, no one landed. Everyone was just, excuse me. No one took off. Right. All the planes were just landing. Yeah, my head is messed up. Anyhow, it took so long to get home. I didn't get home here until after the sun came up. It was a really pretty sunrise. And leaving behind that storm in California, but before we go there, I want to talk about Florida. The system that came into the southwest 3 days ago with our snow in the mountains near Las Vegas, and it's now over North Florida. And this morning there were tornado warnings near Tallahassee and Ryan Haas in Key Largo. What a storm in Key Largo. Thank you, Ryan, for sharing that one. That system is going to be
Yeah, it is whipping.
Going offshore slowly and chasing the one that's out there south of Nova Scotia now, but this next one's going to be further south. But it looks like it is going to kind of have some impact, trying to keep that cool wind coming in from the north here going for a few days. But then finally that will get east of us. But let's go to California now, near San Francisco Bay, south of Monterey. Oh, just your average hurricane force wind warning in south central California over the ocean. At Pebble Beach, play is suspended. My goodness. I've made these surface maps for all the quadrants, but I'm probably only going to show this one. The red numbers are wind gusts. 76 mile per hour wind gust this morning at Santa Rosa off the coast of California. It's not the deepest low pressure system at 988 millibars, just very strong high pressure system on its backside. And the fact that it's so cold, running into so warm, with so much moisture in that feed from south of Hawaii, it reminds me, haven't talked about it, the minus 50 in Fairbanks, coldest in, what, 7 or 8 years in Fairbanks, Alaska. That minus 50 air kind of feeding into the north side of this storm system. So it's a sign of not only global warming, but also cold fighting back. So you have real extreme weather pattern going on. Try and track that cold from Alaska. I've been meaning to do this and I keep forgetting. All right, so let's go to the continental, look at the 850 millibar temperature where yellow is warm, blue is cold enough for snow, and purple to the steel gray. Inside the purple is Arctic air. And you can see that we're on the cold side of that storm that stalled south of Nova Scotia. And middle of the nation, there's a lot of yellow into south central Canada. That's the warm. And then there's the cold in Alaska feeding down to the backside of that west coast system. And that cold in Alaska is kind of releasing. I'm talking about that serious extreme cold. But it looks like, for the most part, it wants to go across north central Canada. We warm up with some yellow here coming in Friday, Saturday. Temperatures be in the 50s where the sun comes out. Friday, Saturday, maybe into Sunday before that cold comes back into New England. Now a piece of that Alaska cold is going to be coming across central Canada and then down into New England, along with the yellow just off our south coast. That's next Monday, Tuesday. Could be quite a system here. And then the very last day, day 10, what's that, about the 13th or 14th? The cold is overwhelming most of the lower 48 United States. So regardless of what Puxatawny says, winter is not over. It's just retooling. It is not a quiet weather pattern at all. We just happen to be on the quiet side here in New England, even though it may snow here at my house tomorrow, even though it was supposed to be 10 days of dry. Sun came out this morning at Mount Mansfield and Jay. Thank you, Carl, for sharing this image. Just extreme rime ice covering everything, but it's so nice to have the blue sky. Lower 48. Show those systems off the East Coast, kind of just staying off to the right. And we have high pressure here. And the low that's in California now is going to run up through the Midwest. And that goes north of us with the warm up here with some rain showers or snow showers mixed here this coming Friday, Saturday. And then here comes that flat wavy front just south of us on Monday night, Tuesday into Wednesday. The guidance has been fairly consistent with a pretty good shot of mostly snow in New England. Days 8 and 9 be about next Tuesday or so. What's that? The 13th and the 14th. Some Valentine's love. And this is going to be coast to coast snowfall in North America. I didn't memorize the week. I think it's week number 16. It started off the week of Halloween. It's been going. Anyhow, the last couple of weeks were fairly weak. But this week, not much for us. A little backing into Cape Cod there. But then really it's going to be week 17 starting next Monday with the snow possible in New England. All right, so not only is my brain messed up, I got my headset telling me that I'm connecting and disconnecting, so I'm just hoping this audio worked out. So much on here. And I'm gonna try and get back into the rhythm. I'm gonna go pick up T-Rex from his cousin. Thank you, Tracy, for taking care of T-Rex. Thank you, Steve, for your enthusiasm. Ready to go out the door. All right, so in more, how about just a little of our last day in Las Vegas? Really fun restaurant. It was quiet. And then all the Super Bowl hype that's going on out there. I don't think it's gonna rain all week in Las Vegas, but not the prettiest week. And I didn't even look. I think the Super Bowl weekend, next weekend, is much better there. And maybe another image of us flying in this morning. Okay, going to get T-Rex. We'll be back with more and more and more tomorrow. CBS is owning TV. This week, Pebble Beach. Next week, Super Bowl. Wow. Can't wait to see tomorrow with the storm coming in. Kind of gray today. Right. Late for brunch. There's plenty of room. Our final act is a nice brunch, kind of a late brunch. It's such a sunny day. That's Bellagio Fountains right over there. And this is called Giada. Nice big room. Heading for the airport next. Something to be said for style, too. That's always interesting. Style. Stylish. Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
Very well.
It's all about style. What's your name?
Vanessa Chandler.
Nice to meet you.
At your service.
Thanks for the pepper.
Enjoy, you guys.
Thanks a lot. Not the best view for us, but the Bellagio fountains are going off. 3 o'clock. No snow clouds today, but palm trees. It's a great room here. Giada, I think, is Francis Ford Coppola's daughter? Anyhow, her picture's all over the place. Let's see if I can't find one before we leave. Guess we can do our Christmas shopping here too. They're making their own pasta. Got an oven there. It's kind of between meals. Brunch just ended. Dinner's not for a while. Prosciutto, 30 pounds, please. Yeah, let's go shopping here. So this is the background everyone's gonna see when they watch TV all week. CBS booth is right there, just packed. Both sides of the street. I don't think I want to try and fight with those people right now. Not fight with them, but I mean contend with them for space. You can see the sidewalk right in front of the booth. Just packed. And then the other side, where you have really good viewing actually over there. That's where we had lunch the other day. All right, that's it. It's gonna be dark while we're flying, so that's probably the end of the and more from Las Vegas. Oh, look. What'd you say? I think she said, I could only hope that's the end of the and more and more and more. Sorry we didn't make it up there. It looks kind of cool.